was yesterday. Oh, there she is. There's
Okay.
Laurel. We must be in
All
session.
right. Well, I was supposed to, I'm supposed to ride with Kate and do PT, and I was just on the phone with this stupid airlines for an hour and a half, which should have taken about 12 minutes, if that.
Oh my God.
So
I'm so sorry.
and I still didn't get what I needed, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's painful. Oh, that's cute.
I'm guessing that's
Chris. I'm
well,
guessing.
we know it's Chris, but is that
It's
a cookie
always
jar? Like what kind of sculpture is that? Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, it's tiny. I thought it was a cookie jar too. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a clown doing a handstand.
It's a clown doing a handstand. So I have
Fireball.
multiple clowns on my shelf because my great uncle was in the Barnum and Bailey Circus. And so
Really?
he was acrobat, and he occasionally did a clown, but mostly the acrobat troupe from Hungary, actually.
That's
It
so
was
good. Your uncle, your dad or your mom's?
So it'd be through marriage, but it's on my mom's side. So it'd be he married into the family, but he well, that's not
That's not him?
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah, but it's not the.
It's a troupe that he was with, but most interesting is maybe next time I'll try to find it actually when we come on, but he was part of this
The great Magyar troupe.
Yes.
they were
He's Hungarian, if that didn't make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they did a springboard act. It was like the first like group of people that did like 4 high on a springboard, like off a springboard. So you had these
Oh my God.
2 springboards like facing each other. And so there was this, I might be able to find them maybe next time. But anyway, so basically they're doing these flips in the air and they would land on someone's shoulder. And then the final 2 would be 2 people off a springboard that turns in the air and the 2 people land on the shoulders. And so it was like, I don't know what that would, maybe in the 40s. But he was the bottom guy. So
Oh my God.
so he was the uncle who could like balance things on his, had lots of like circus tricks, right? He would take a chair and balance it on his nose. And
I
he was
saw it once. It's
always
crazy.
like doing very
That's
fun,
awesome.
interesting sort of, just crazy story.
Wow.
Crazy.
If you could ever not find the kids, it was like, go find Uncle,
Uncle Johnny
Yeah.
was, yes,
and he was probably the Pied Piper holding all of them to.
Yeah, let's see
He's
it, Chris.
probably like 70. He says to me, I can balance this chair on my nose. I'm like, really? And he just puts it up there, and then he's like, right in the house. Well, I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Wow.
anyways, we wanted to bring something to show and tell today. So
Nice.
you good?
Well done.
Well,
Wow.
thank you. Well, I
Impressive.
just came from a new fitness program that we're prototyping at my company.
Oh,
Yeah, my business partner, Cameron, who's Australian, is also turning 50 this year.
Okay.
And like he has lower back issues. And it's gotten to be a problem. Like he's having a hard time like climbing stairs, and he's fucking 50, right? So this is
That's not right.
no, it's not right. So I said, my PT has given me all these great exercises and it's making a world of difference. Like this is after my ankle thing and my core went to belly, and now I'm retraining my core strength and so on. And I said, I'm happy to share. Like, this is like next level trust. I'm going to get on friggin' Zoom video with my flabby belly and all, and I will share my PT exercises with you.
What?
And because, of course, he lives in France, it's late, right? We did this at 1 p.m. So we're calling it Backs and Bourbon, whereby we do one of the exercises and then we take a swig of bourbon, which works a lot better for him than for me. But as I was drinking rather early.
Hey, do you need anybody else to
You want to join us?
what?
Bourbon.
Wait, so is
Back
the
and
exercises or the bourbon helping the back?
Both. It's
Yeah.
it's medicinal, definitely.
That's awesome. What new meaning to trust falls and trust training and and he's a like a business partner.
Yeah, he's my business partner. We've known each other for 5 years. Clearly, we've become friends and family. And he's about my height and my age. And so, sure enough, we have the same mechanical issues with our bodies.
Yeah.
Growing up right around the same time.
I feel like a lot of exercises end up being kind of universal for everyone. Like, especially with the lower back, there's always that if you sit a lot, right, everything's tight in the hips and then your hamstrings are tight.
Zoom is not helping anybody, right?
No.
Right.
Well, unless you do it on a yoga mat.
Or standing, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the hunched shoulders, right, Laurel?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
So
Like
back
when
to
you're doing a
That's we're all
spreadsheet
sitting up straight.
on a tiny little screen.
You need to buy yourself a big monitor. Like,
Well, I am going to start going into the office twice a week where I do
Mm.
have a big monitor.
that helps.
That'll
Yeah.
help a lot.
Yeah.
And sitting on a
And a
stability.
chair, like,
Yeah,
and a proper chair.
an ergonomic chair, yeah, versus
Yeah. Yeah.
My brother years ago, because he's worked for himself at home for a long time, but years ago, figured out how to. He also builds like weird things, but to make a walking a treadmill, but it's not a treadmill, but somehow to make it so that he could put his laptop,
Mhm.
he could stand, and instead of sitting for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, he can stand and walk, but still, be doing his
Yep.
work.
Mhm.
You see
Well,
that actually.
they
Wow.
do. They sell those. We've got.
I'm sure they do now. They did
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
back in the
Mhm.
day of his need.
He was ahead of his time.
Well,
Mhm.
and he also probably wouldn't have spent the money to, whatever Peloton costs or whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, but
At the main office at Fred Meyer, they were going through this large, like, sort of thing. If you got your doctor to give you a note that you needed an ergonomic workstation for your shoulders or your back or whatever, then the company was fitting you for a
Nice.
new desk. And so they would have someone come in and do all that sort of measurements so that you're square and your mouse is in the right position and the monitor's at that right eye level. So
Mhm.
really people were just like, it was making a world of difference for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
They were doing the same thing where I worked at before I left. And
Hmm.
most of the doctor thing is they just don't want to give ergonomic desks away, which they probably should. It's more the setup. So what would work for me wouldn't work for Astrid, because
Right.
you'd have to have a table certain height and all that. So they had to
Right.
make sure it worked for each person.
Right.
We had somebody come in and do some specific to interpreting online. So the distance from the monitor to, which would work for anybody,
Mhm.
I guess, who was on Zoom, or who needed that kind of sight line. But they had somebody come in and do an ergonomic training, but they also, where I used to work, had desks that went up and down.
Yep,
Which
that's what we were talking about.
It's not, they're actually very affordable.
Mm.
And it makes a huge difference. You can get up and walk around every once or twice an hour, but sitting is the new smoking and has been for a while. And it's particularly for women. I don't know why, but it's
That's
really,
funny because whenever
really
I've read it, it was always the men.
it's our turn now, I guess. Yeah. Equal opportunity
Damn
pay.
it.
Yay, we're finally getting counted for something.
Great.
Yes. Yeah.
But Astrid, I'm confused why you have a hoodie on. What's going on?
Cool here.
This is my post-workout. I worked up a sweat in my Backs and Bourbon class, and now I'm sitting back on the porch, and it's just it's just fresh enough.
Just enough chili.
So how many bourbons have you had?
Sip.
That can make for a
Well,
long
I was
day.
gonna say, for me, that would be enough.
You would be actually like horizontal, right? You just be like,
I wouldn't have made the call. Yeah, no.
Well, I
That's
may
great.
only be able to do the pre-program because I'm supposed to be on a call at 15 after the hour. But
Okay.
I have this. Can I just have a tiny little work vent here?
Oh yeah.
yes.
Oh my God! I've worked with this contractor. He's been working on this thing. It's not that hard, but he's not shared his progress. And I'm like, Jeff, I just need to see the draft of the database you're building for me because I understand spreadsheets well enough to understand. I don't need the grand reveal. And so, now I have a bunch of colleagues who are apparently going to see this for the first time with me. And I'm like, this is a terrible idea. You should have shared it with me and the accountant first.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be very successful as a consultant.
Not to us, not if he keeps this up.
Yeah.
Did he actually do something?
Well, we're getting invoiced by his firm, and I've said we're not paying until I see the fucking deliverable. You can invoice us for his time. It's nice that time is being spent on this project, but I haven't seen anything.
Unless he delivers a perfect product right off the bat, which is
Yeah, maybe
unusual, but
it's unusual.
Yeah, particularly if you don't talk to your client. Get their feedback along the way.
well, I mean, if you knew your client was drinking bourbon in the morning, would you call?
Hey, listen, it was 1 p.m.
That may not be shared.
The lunch hour.
On our
So,
lunch hour.
In 3 minutes, I guess I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So yes, I will be.
And
with you.
also these meetings, I thought you were going to vent about meetings that start at 1:15. Like there's something about, I kind of like the intention, which is to give people a break between their meetings, but I don't know. I end up being late, or I don't know.
I got plenty
I
of
don't
time.
like it.
Yeah, that's what they were doing when we worked at too. They would start like 5 after, they like give a 10-minute break. So they would finish 5 minutes before the hour. So you had time to walk from one place to another, use the bathroom or whatever. Like,
Well,
What about
that's, I
just-
mean,
what about
it
just
just
less
started
meetings?
it started at the top of the hour and let it out early.
And let
Don't
out
take the
early.
15 minutes at
yes,
the beginning of the hour. That always gets
Yeah.
me.
Our
but-
brain works at the top better anyways, right? Because you're
right.
just,
This is true.
It does for me, especially the more I have to remember. Like if I have to remember what time to be there, that's over the top.
Right,
why you write it on
Right.
your,
right.
right, right.
There's only so much you can write on these things without them people going, wait, what is?
oh
on
yeah, that's right. That's not helpful for you.
You're right,
And
like,
Astrid, before you go, remind us when your 50th birthday is.
October 3rd,
October 3rd. I knew it was October.
which I think is somehow a weekend or part of a weekend. Maybe I haven't really studied this yet.
It's the month, Astrid.
You can make it part of it.
Doesn't
You can
matter
make
what
it part
if
of
it
the
falls on
weekend.
the weekend.
The month. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
So I think the 3rd is a Sunday. So which is also, how does that work? I was born.
I heard you putting out some of your dreams for that day when we were over for dinner.
Yeah, I like big parties. I actually like a big to do for
Uh-huh.
a big
Oh,
birthday,
well, it
oh,
is a
for
big birthday.
50,
Yeah.
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there should be a no burn ban by then, so maybe we can shoot off fireworks.
Perfect.
I don't. think so. Mm,
Fireworks, conga line, the works, please.
The conga line.
The conga line around the block is what I'm really holding out for.
you might remember last year when we did a little what was that, like a sing off or whatever? Remember when we did Kate's thing
Wow.
last
Yeah.
year?
Eight.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Love is in the air.
Just pick your song.
we know where
Well,
you live.
I
As
know,
long as
I
it's
know
in
you know
English.
where I live. Well, I may be back very quickly, depending on how frustrated I am with this contract.
Feel free
Okay.
to pop back in.
Yep.
You know where we are.
We'll be
Yeah.
here for another couple minutes.
Yeah, I have a feeling you have more chit chatting to do.
I hope it goes fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you don't see you have a good weekend.
Shortly. Yeah, if I don't see you, I'll have a great weekend.
So Mary and Dana told us they're not going to be here. Both of you are not going to be here next week. Is that right, Mary? Just so you all know that.
Okay.
No pressure.
Well,
we're-
we'll be here. We'll be here. Well, I'll be here Monday,
Yeah, you'll be.
but we're flying out Wednesday to go back to Michigan
Oh, you are?
Yep.
We
Okay.
are
for 3 weeks.
Okay.
so excited.
Okay. So you'll be a little bit more spotty as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here,
Friday.
do me a
I don't know,
favor
Friday-
and clean out the airlines because we're flying on Friday. So make sure you get all of everybody like to where they need to be so that when we fly on Friday, there's nobody left to fly.
I'm a
Where are you
positive
flying,
person.
Mary?
Go.
We are flying to Roanoke, Virginia for a couple days and then
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know
Yeah, you
how I
gotta-
thought you were getting to Roanoke. I knew you were going to Roanoke. Of course you're flying. Like, how else did you get there?
A long drive.
Long
The
drive.
train. The
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
And where's Dana going? Oh, camping trip?
She's going on a camping trip.
Good.
Oh, good.
yeah.
That was one that didn't get canceled then. 'Cause
I
she
guess
talked about
so.
something getting
Yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a week-long one that, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Well, I'll be around, I guess.
Oh, yeah, we
Well-
definitely won't be, what time is it back there? Wait, it's at 5.
So
That's right.
it's one of those.
You're an
weird things.
hour, isn't Detroit an hour earlier? It's East
No, it's
Coast
the same
time.
time.
It's the same
Okay.
time.
Yeah, it's at
We're
5
on the
o'clock.
Yeah, we're
Right
the
at the dinner hour.
You might not be drinking bourbon, but it might be drinking beer by then.
That's part of the problem is, well, my mom doesn't have internet. Though she has unlimited. I'll have to check that out now.
That might work.
It might not work very well. But anyways, that's a side note. Her parents, so quite often when her parents, we're prepping to make dinner because it's kind of a big deal now. So
Right,
And
yeah,
also
and you
it'll be
probably have
like
to
a
eat
house-
around 5:30 or so, yeah.
And there'll just be a lot of people too. There'll be
Yeah.
a lot of people in a little house.
but we
Yeah.
could just have everybody come on.
We could,
Yeah.
you could meet the family.
We could, all
At
the,
At
all
least
the
meet some of
cousins and
my
everybody's coming?
faves.
We'll try to remember. Dawn.
Yeah.
And this is
I'll
the
recruit
family
him.
reunion, or is this just your?
No, but it's kind of a small one, I think, of sorts. Just my brother from out west is coming in with, he's actually already there. And then his 3 daughters are all coming in. So they've been really good about getting back to see my parents. And then we overlap because we knew they were coming in. And then we have cousins that always come in from Minnesota every year that we also coordinated to overlap some.
Oh, nice.
There's yeah, so and then I have a brother that lives there with a couple kids as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, so small reunion of sorts for sure. It'll be fun. It'll be, and then Chris's family. Be
Yeah.
nice and quiet.
No, my niece is coming in from Asheville.
Hmm.
So she's coming in for a week or two. So,
Oh, nice.
but she won't be with us that long. She'll just be, I don't know, 3 or 4 days at my mom's. And then
Mhm.
my sister, her mom lives up in Traverse City, which is the north part of Michigan.
Right,
Not the
Right.
very north, but
right, right.
Wait,
trying to
Near
show my hand.
Canada.
are you trying to
Up
show
near
off to
Canada.
Mary? Are you trying to show off to Mary?
Why?
Right, yeah, your sign language.
Yeah.
Hey, I got it. I got it.
Mary
Yeah.
knows right
So,
where it is
okay,
now.
This is what I do. I grew up in this
I know
town.
the Michigan mitten thing. I know that.
I grew up in this town and I went to college in this town.
Well, that's funny.
Yes.
True.
But that's not the UP though.
This
It
is the
is.
UP. This is how I do the UP.
This is the UP right there.
And
Oh,
this is
okay.
like, it's a little, it's not to scale.
Gotcha.
Wait, Dawn, put up your hand. There, now it's a little bit more to scale.
Oh, wait, with your
Anyways.
hand on the bottom and hers on the top?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's a
because
little
the UP's a
small.
little bit smaller.
We
Mhm.
don't care about the Upers.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, be careful what you say there, Dawn.
And Upers don't care about us.
Yeah, Upers don't really like the. I don't think we think about them at all, but they think about us a lot. 'Cause
So
I
are
think
you guys the downers?
No, they called us no, they didn't. I never heard that one, but the one I used to call, they used to call us trolls. Because we lived because of the Mackinac Bridge, we lived
Oh,
under
under
the
the
bridge.
bridge. Gotcha.
Oh,
So we're,
pretty clever.
yeah. And probably worse things than that.
It's not a huge thing though. You wouldn't like go to Michigan and see that sort of like, any sort of bantering at all. I feel like it's more from the north. Again, we forget that they're up there. So
mhm, mhm.
They've tried to become their own state a few times because they have totally different need, just kind of like parts of any rural area, but so much more different than lower Michigan.
yeah.
Is that because it's so close to Canada and there's a lot of crossover or no?
Maybe not that, but weather's a huge
Well,
factor.
it's just, I mean, the biggest city up there is 100,000 people, maybe.
Mhm.
It's more rural people farming or just, the industry is pretty small.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they just have, it's kind of like in Eastern Oregon or Eastern Washington. I mean, their needs are totally different than ours.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
But I think there's more people in the UP than, well, maybe not in Eastern Oregon now because of Bend.
Yeah.
I would still think their benefit from being in the state economically, just their tax base would be better together
If
than,
they're, yeah,
I mean, I'm sure their allocation is not as good as they would like it to be, but
when we were living there, and I don't know what it's like now, the county we lived in outside of the Upper Peninsula was the poorest county in Michigan. The
mm,
majority of the poorest ones were in the Upper Peninsula because there's not a lot. If like I said, there's very little industry.
wait, and
But you're right.
they're the ones that call you the trolls?
Yes.
Well, their allocation's not going to grow from the state if they keep calling all everybody else trolls.
I don't think it's like on a,
Yeah, it's not on a large scale. It's
well,
a-
maybe it is on social media now. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not like you're hearing it in the news. This is
Yeah.
because I went to school there, the locals would
Right.
use that.
Right. I remember, you know, when I was growing up, Hoosier was kind of a synonymous with redneck where I grew
Yeah.
up in Missouri. Is that the same for you guys in Michigan?
I just think of
know,
Indiana, so there is that kind of.
People
Yeah.
would say like, oh, don't be a Hoosier or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then that basketball movie came out, Hoosiers,
Hoosiers.
Uh-huh.
probably around the time I was in high school. And so kind of I learned, oh, like Hoosier is people from Indiana, right?
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of my mom's side, like second cousins and stuff. We go to a family reunion, and I can't remember exactly, but we're kind of like laughing, like, hey, your basketball team is called the Hoosiers, like how backward. They're like, well, you're from Missouri, you guys are the Pukes. We were like, what? I know, we were like the Pukes. Yeah.
Is there like
They
a
said,
mountain
like,
range, like the
I don't know. It was just so
Poconos or
funny.
something?
They were like all like, well, you guys are the Pukes. I'm like, I
And they never-
I
and
don't
they
know if
never-
anybody knows that except you
Right.
Hoosiers.
It's
And I
inside
can't remember what the Illinois had something that was similarly like look down your nose, but
Mhm.
it was kind of like only the people in Indiana, only the Hoosiers knew.
Knew about it. It's kind of like only the people in the UP know about the trolls.
Yeah,
Trolls know
exactly.
about the
Yeah.
trolls.
Yeah, we didn't.
I never knew that growing up until he
No.
told after
And
college.
I think in lower Michigan, especially the further south you get, it was more Ohio. That was our nemesis, and that we would, because of probably the football game, but they also had a little war in the early 1900s. It really wasn't a war over Toledo, which state that was going to go to. And
A little
well, I
war
think
over
in
Toledo.
Michigan, when I think of Michigan, I think of
what was it? What was the
A little war over Toledo.
draw for
Yeah.
Toledo?
Wasn't it called
that
the
where a
Toledo
Well, it's
lot
War?
right
called
there
the
on the
Toledo-
water.
The Toledo War.
yeah, it's called the Toledo War, but there was really no fighting.
Mhm.
It just kind of came to a confrontation. We're like, all right, Ohio, you can have it. I can't remember what we got. I don't, or what Michigan got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
there's.
there's of course the Wisconsin cheeseheads.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah, but
It
they're
seems-
proud of
That's like
that
switching on
cheesehead
both
thing.
sides, right? Like they're proud of being cheeseheads, and then you know the foam
Yeah.
cheese hats.
Yes,
They've
I
made it
know them
cool.
well. Because when you go, because we often vacation in Wisconsin, and you go to like fairs and stuff, and people, I mean, they're of course for mostly for sporting events, but you'll see people wearing those cheese heads at the
Out.
fair and stuff. Yeah. And then you know, everything that, well, those cheese curd, like basically
Mhm.
fried
Yeah.
cheese things.
Yeah.
My niece just drove. Well, she got to Seattle, but when they went through Wisconsin, I guess she said, "Oh, we had to stop and get cheese curds," and it
Mhm.
was like that just sounds bad, but it is. I mean, it's a thing. It's a
I've had cheese
Yeah.
curds.
Yeah. Tillamook
Yeah, I
has them.
don't think you can go to Wisconsin and not find an opportunity. I mean, they're in like every restaurant, and like they're like French fries or something. Like
Yeah.
Oh, that
they're
much.
just, I mean, they're definitely a fair food, but you would also see them on the menu at restaurants.
greasy,
they'd have to-
salty, of course, fat. What else do you need?
Mhm.
But I'm assuming they're cooked with something because they're kind of dry, if I remember correctly.
I thought they were squeaky and salty.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're sort of rubbery. I've never had
Yeah.
them, but
That's what I mean. They're
Yes,
like,
I've
they're
had. I've only bought them in the store here. I had to go to like Fred Meyer's or Safeway didn't have them. It was like New Seasons or somebody that it's like a specialty food. At least back when I was buying them. Imported.
Why were you,
What
what
would
were you
you-
buying them for?
yeah, what would you use them for other than a football platter?
Oh, did I just open up a door? Cheese curds are apparently very good for your digestive system.
oh, that's right.
Oh,
Oh,
So I was experimenting.
He read it on the internet.
huh.
Yes. Doctor Who.
was it
Right.
Dr. Kevorkian was from Michigan, wasn't he? Or no,
Huh.
was he Wisconsin?
No, he was Michigan.
He's a Buckeye.
That's right.
Coming
Yeah,
up
they're
killing
definitely,
Michiganders.
they're like close to, like between cottage cheese and mozzarella. Yeah, is that what
Yeah.
a cheese curd is like?
I've only had it.
Mozzarella is much better. It would be like a dry cottage cheese, I would think. That
Yeah,
would be,
yeah.
So maybe
but
it's the
I never ate them
bacteria.
separate. I always put them in with a shake because they were just like, ooh, yeah, it was like she said, squeaky. It's in your mouth. It's like chalk, your fingers. That's what it felt like in my teeth. Like it was gross.
Wait, you put them in a milkshake?
Mary, I was thinking the same thing too.
Wait, you said
Like
you put
a
it
like
I
a
would put
like a smoothie.
a smoothie.
Yeah.
In the way
Ew.
you'd put yogurt in, right?
Yes,
I mean,
and I would put, so
yeah.
I put the
Yeah.
Like
curd-
think
I
of
would
it
put the
in
curds-
that category,
Yes,
not
Gotcha.
don't think of it
Yeah,
as
Laurel.
cheese.
Just
No,
cheese
I was
curd.
putting
A
other
cheese
things
curd.
in it too, so I
Yeah.
didn't even know they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But
here
you're
comes
trying to get
Astrid.
the benefit.
We
of-
can see if
Oh,
she's.
Well, it was good
We
to
can
see you
ask her if
guys.
she's
Okay,
tried
yeah,
it.
we'll see you later.
smiling.
We were talking about your
Honest to
favorite
God.
subject, cheese curds.
Oh, cheese curds.
We
Yeah.
moved on.
Next.
All right.
That's where we've
report.
gone. So what's the report out of this joker you call a consultant, huh?
Well, it's a no-show.
Wow.
So this will be a soon to be former consultant, I think.
Oh,
He was
no.
a no-show?
What?
Oh,
keeps getting better.
goodness. Yeah.
I mean, there was some ill-advised scheduling that was being handled by somebody's assistant who probably shouldn't have been in the scheduling seat in the first place. But yeah, it's just a comedy of errors at this point.
And it started at the
Agency
quarter
to
past
get
the
an
hour.
invoice.
Thanks.
I'm
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
okay,
back
actually.
invoice them for your time.
I know,
Yeah.
right? At this point.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of depressing. I wanted some good report.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hmm.
Nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing.
Hmm.
Well, at least you didn't
That-
drink bourbon for nothing, right?
Hey.
Now you have to find another spreadsheet expert.
Good spreadsheet monkeys are really hard to find. It's a thing,
Yes.
especially somebody who understands hybrids. And I can go pretty far with my own spreadsheetery, but I need somebody to just build us the thing for our organization that will work on some lightweight tool. I don't want to do like the general ledger schmedger software that's out there. So yeah.
Oh, so you're looking for a special hybrid just for your product or for your company?
Well, we are a nonprofit, for-profit hybrid, and I don't want to
Mhm.
build it on some proprietary Microsoft bullshit. So I wanted to be on a modern tool like Airtable or Tableau. And the needs we have are primarily around, like, there's some people like myself who have to be able to get into the guts of it all and actually run finances and do financial projections of the thing. And then there are other people like our managing director or like the leads of various business lines that just need a pretty view of their figures.
Right. They just need a
Right.
dashboard.
They
Yeah.
just need a dashboard. They don't need to
Yeah.
understand how accounting works because
And how come you don't want to use Microsoft? Because you want to,
it doesn't talk to anything else. Like, we need this thing
I
to be
gotcha.
super interoperable and scalable. And so, even if it was Microsoft, you would need somebody to configure it for you, right?
Right.
And we use Microsoft products at my old company, and I'm over it.
Mm.
Blah blah blah. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Whinge, moan, moan. Have I told you this about whinge, moan, moan?
No.
So you don't have to know anything about this topic, right? Like, I go whinge, moan, moan, and the response is, oh. Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
Whinge, moan, moan.
Oh.
See, I already feel better. Perfect. Thank you.
You just got some sympathy given to you.
Is this something that you grew up with as a child, or is this something?
No, a friend of mine came up with this. Because, I mean, honest to God, who really wants to listen to me venting about finance systems? Nobody, right? But
Oh,
I
I'm interested in it.
Thank you, Chris. But, like, you can just succinctly just sum it up as like whinge, moan, moan.
And you automatically feel better. Oh.
Oh.
I'm sorry that you have to.
That
whinge and
sucks.
moan.
Oh.
It totally works. Try it. Honest to God,
But
try
it
it.
brings some humor into it because it's kind of an odd sort of way to express yourself.
The way to make yourself feel better is just having a wee bit of bourbon.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Well,
you got
there's that too.
Or
It is
bourbon.
Friday.
I do have to go back into the spreadsheets because it looks like I'm going to be building them a bit longer now by myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
Bourbon
calls for
and
a lot more
spreadsheets.
Whoa,
They
look at
do
her
not
drink
go
that
well.
down. That's a big gulp of bourbon.
Yeah, right. I've just moved on to vodka.
Okay, well, Astrid's back. Shall we get going?
All right, we can go.
All right.